Welcome back to Couch Time with Tom. Here's what we're talking about today. This is a biggie because this involves some of the most key pieces of being a parent in this world. There's three things you can focus on, probably the three most important pieces I feel like in successful parenting, which means raising our kids to be successful people. First thing is to be a good model. It's to model who we want our children to be when it comes to their character, when it comes to their integrity, just how they carry themselves. We have to model that. So we can't go around freewheeling and doing whatever we want to do, saying whatever we want to say, and expect them to come up any better than what we're showing them. So the first step is on us. It's on every parent out there to be the kind of person you're supposed to be so that your child sees a good model over and over. If you watch a great TV show with great people in it, you're going to have a tendency to be more like those people. If you watch a trashy TV show with people doing all kinds of things and saying all kinds of things, you tend to say it. You can watch your children with the shows they watch or the cartoons they watch or the channels that they watch. They become more of that. So we have to be a good model as parents. The second thing is we have to learn to set good, clear, consistent boundaries, to have a container for them to live within. It's not fair to expect our children to become these great people without clearly knowing what all the boundaries are. So a lot of times we're the bad guy as parents because we have to be able to set boundaries that our children are not going to like now but are going to appreciate later because they'll see the reason and the point for it later. Okay, so that's really critical to get, that we don't try to set boundaries so that we get our children to understand why we're doing it, because they don't like a lot of the things you do if you're being a really good parent. But your job is to set a container, boundaries for your children so that they know if you cross this line, here's what happens. Okay? This is okay to do, that's not okay to do. This is okay to say, that's not okay to say. This is how we treat people, this is how it's not okay to treat people. Okay, so first step, model. Be a good model. Second step, set a container, set good boundaries for your children so that they have a good framework to work within. If you go to get a job and the first day they're like, yeah, you get lunch, but they don't ever tell you when your lunch is or how long you should be gone. You see people going for 2 hours, you see people going for 30 minutes, you're not sure. The tendency would be for you to go to the longer end. People are taking 2-hour lunches. Nobody told me I could, and I'm not getting in trouble for it, so I'm going to go ahead and take the 2-hour lunch. And then, lo and behold, the big boss comes down and says, what have you been doing? Just because they were going out for 2-hour lunches doesn't mean you should. It's that internal clock we want to build in our children, and they do that through good, consistent boundaries. Modeling boundaries. Third piece is to give our children a chance to succeed and fail. That's by making choices. We've got to give them responsibility so that we give them a chance to make choices and not really condemn them or put them down for the choices that they make. We want to judge their behavior, not them as a person. So if your child gets to make a choice of whether they come home for curfew or not, or whether they pick up their toys before they go to bed or not, that's a choice for them to make. We shouldn't hound them all the time about it. Maybe they wake up the next morning and those toys that were on the floor are gone. Maybe they wake up the next morning and their keys to their car are gone now, and they don't get to use it for the next day or 2 or 3 or week. That's just a consequence of the choices. But if we don't ever give them choices and we constantly dictate everything they do, they will never get to learn on their own. So we really want to find a way to get our children making as many choices as possible so they can learn the great and the not so great of responsibility, because they think it's a piece of cake to be responsible. Just send a child away to college a lot of times with schedules, with bills, with responsibilities, and see how difficult it is for them to make that adjustment into adulthood. So, first piece, modeling. Be a good model for your child. Model for them who you want them to become. Second piece, container, boundaries. Set good boundaries so your child has a framework to work within your family. Okay, they should know this everywhere they go. Third piece is to be able to give them a chance to have responsibility, to take responsibility, to make choices, and succeed and fail, so they learn what the best choice is for them to make when they get out into this world. Hope this helps. really strong 3 components to parenting. Try it out, practice it, think about it, and let me know how it works for you.